vaccine is returned. Oh Lord, my God, help me. I need your strength.
Yes.
I need your power. God, I'm willing. I got to get out of the way because you are in the house.
Amen.
So God, since you are in the house, God, deliver your word.
Amen.
In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Well, you're working on it? All right, all right. I love commercials. The messages behind them very appealing to me. And one particular year, a few years ago, I was preparing to watch the Super Bowl, and a Gatorade commercial came on. It showed a basketball court, no players on it, just showed the court, and you can hear their shoes running up and down the court, but then it disappeared. Then it showed a volleyball court, and it disappeared. It showed a soccer field, and it disappeared. Then track field appeared, and it disappeared. And it was the same with a baseball diamond and a football field.
Wow.
It depicted the different seasons in sports. And the camera is sitting at the top of a cooler, and it pans down to the front of the cooler, and the narrator says, it's in the cooler, but is it in you? That's the subject tonight. Is it in you? Beloved, I have come to find that checking the ingredients is very important.
Amen.
It lets you know what it will produce.
Well,
Gatorade, it rehydrates. It has 6% carbohydrate solution that helps feed fluid back into the body. It replenishes electrolytes like sodium and potassium and chloride are lost during sweat.
well,
Gatorade helps put back lost electrolytes and stimulates thirst so that athletes will drink more and stay better hydrated. It refuels. Unlike water, Gatorade has a large amount of carbohydrates to give working muscles more energy to fight fatigue. And as a result, it provides a mental edge during intense competition. Research shows that more than 60% carbohydrate solution is not better. You see, a higher concentration of carbohydrates takes longer to absorb and won't further improve performance. But to drink Gatorade helps the athlete to get back into the game. After the athlete has put his or her body through grueling and exhaustive physical activity, Gatorade helps the body to recover physically, and as a result of its ingredients, it provides a mental edge to finish the game or the competition. This is what athletes do. They compete against one another. And a player or a team has one agenda: to gain the victory over their opponent. In the game of life, there is an opponent that we must face.
that's right.
Whether we like it or not. It doesn't matter if we choose to show up or not. One thing is for certain: our opponent, Lucifer, the devil, the adversary, will show up. And when he shows up, he is not concerned if you have prepared yourself. He's not concerned if we have made the necessary adjustments to stop his tactics or elude his snares. He's not concerned if we pay of your life. Yes, during this particular year, I was watching the Super Bowl, and a news reporter was interviewing a player by the name of Joey Porter. And beloved, Joey Porter was very outspoken. And the reporter asked him, Joey, what's going to take place in the game on tomorrow? And Joey, with his brass self, he said, well, we're going to hit them hard. And we're going to hit them low. And we're going to make them quit. We're going to play nasty. We're going to make them tap out. And the news reporter said, wait a minute, tap out? What does tap out mean, Joy? And Joy says, we're going to make them quit. Every time them during the game, we're going to make them tap out. And I come to tell you tonight that real Christians, we don't tap out. No, we tap in. Tap into what? We tap into Psalm 35 that says, contend, O Lord, with those who contend with me.
That's it.
Psalm 34 says, I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praise shall continually be in my mouth. But I like Isaiah 40:31 says, they that wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They will mount up on wings like eagles. They will run and not get weary. They will walk and not faint. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, you can quote it. But can you live it? In the text tonight, Paul tells us not to lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we don't focus, beloved, on what we can see, but we focus on those things that we cannot see. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Paul is explaining to us his willingness to undergo all kinds of suffering and danger because he has before him a certain hope of resurrection. So therefore he states, do not lose heart. Although on one hand the process of physical decay is going on constantly, yet on the other hand there's a spiritual renewal which enabled him to go on in spite of his adverse circumstances. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy. He comes to kill your dreams. He comes to steal your joy and destroy your future. How, preacher? He tries to kill your dreams by making you think you are not worthy. Oh, is there a witness in the house tonight? He tries to steal your joy by reminding you of past mistakes. He tries to destroy your future by making false accusations about you. But can I help somebody tonight? False accusation is the final stage before supernatural promotion. Supernatural promotion is not for everyone. But it's available to everyone. But it's not attainable by everyone. Why? Because you got to see beyond what you actually see. You have to see beyond your present circumstance. You have to see beyond your present season. To be able to see in the unseen takes spiritual maturity. Can I twist my way? A butterfly has 4 seasons in its life. It's better known as a metamorphosis, or better yet, a change. The first stage is the egg stage. The second stage is the larva or the caterpillar stage. Stage 3 is the chrysalis or the cocoon stage. That's the underdeveloped stage. And stage 4 is the adult stage. But the same. He doesn't even act the same. Yes, because he's gone through a change. When a butterfly is conceived, its destiny is to fly through the air with this magnificent wings. But I cannot fly until it's gone through all 4 stages. Stage 3 is the underdeveloped stage, but it's where development is initiated. The butterfly starts to develop in the midst of the cocoon, and as it grows, it becomes uncomfortable. The space becomes cramped, but the cocoon won't let it out. The legs start to grow, but the cocoon won't let it out. It's pressing up against the walls of the cocoon, but the cocoon won't let it out. The wings start to develop and press up against the wall of the cocoon, but the cocoon won't let it out. The wings are trying to expand, and they keep trying to press their way out of the cocoon, but the cocoon won't let it out. All during this time, the inside of the cocoon is dark, and the butterfly can't see beyond his present condition. But 24 hours before the butterfly emerges, the cocoon becomes transparent. The butterfly starts to look around. He starts to see the outside, and then it comes to him. I wasn't meant to stay here. And he begins to move. He begins to press. All of the pressing up until this point has developed him for this very moment. He starts to press his way. He starts to kick. He starts to spread his wings. And there is a break in the cocoon. And I come to tell somebody tonight, all the hell you've been catching, all the lies that have been told on you, God has been preparing you for this season. And I come to tell you tonight that this is your breakout season. So you might as well go stretch. Go ahead and break out. Break out of your funk. Break out of your depression. Break out of your mental illness. Break out of your sadness. God is ready for your breakout season. Say yeah. I got 3 points. I got 3 points. Let me get out your way.
That's all right.
Number 1. Are you walking with sight or insight? You see, to be able to see in the first sense is physical, that's natural.
That's right.
Preachers, sometimes that's all we use. Yeah, I know we don't get no amen then. Because some of us, all we can see are the problems that we are experiencing at our church. And when your folk come to the conclusion that all you see are the problems, it begins to have an adverse effect on them. To be able to see in the second is insight. Yeah, to be able to see what you can't see. The primary organ in the first is your intellect. The primary means in the second is your spirit. And with sight, you see what is actually there. But with insight, you see what is not there. Because why, how, preacher? Because of what is at work on the inside of you. You can see round corners. You can see what's hidden. You can sense before you obtain it. You can see your future, even though it's still far off. What do you use tonight? Do you use sight or insight? Do you see your breakthrough? Do you understand that you are on the verge of your breakthrough? I know you have problems, but can you see your breakthrough? I know you are afflicted in your body, but can you see your healing? To experience your breakthrough, you've got to be able to cross over from flesh to faith. Yeah. Do you have what it takes? Number two, do you have what it takes to cross over? I love basketball. In the game of basketball, there is a ball handler. It's usually called the point guard. And he has this move that he uses. It's called the crossover. And the thing that I found unique about the crossover is the point guard fakes like he is going in one direction, but he actually ends up in another direction. And the opponent is so consumed with stopping him that he goes for the fake and leaves the area where the guard is trying to go exposed. Tell your neighbor, I'm about to break a move. I'm about to bust a move on the devil. He thinks I'm going to quit, because I got issues in my life. He thinks I'm going to give up because a few folk got on my nerves. He thinks I'm going to throw in the towel because I don't know how I'm going to get my budget. He thinks I'm going to quit and start moaning and murmuring and whining and complaining and looking for excuses. But the devil is a liar. I'm going to cross over. I'm going to the other side. Whoa. Before you get too excited, you better read Mark 4, 35 and 38. When Jesus told the disciples to get in the boat and go to the other side, that's when all hell broke loose. And I come to tell you tonight, when you go from flesh to faith, that's when all hell is going to break loose in your life. When you make the crossover, when you do the very thing that the enemy thought that you weren't going to do, you can look for the enemy to raise his hand. You can look for the enemy to come from places you never thought he would come. You can look for the enemy to pop up in your house. You can look for the enemy to pop up on your job. You can look for the enemy to pop up in you. Excuse my language, but change ain't cheap.
Amen.
If you're going to fully develop, you got to be able to handle what life throws at you. Old man told me when I was in Webster, he said, boy, if you can't handle that pig, ain't no way you're going to handle a hog. is not cheap. It'll cost you a death to the old in order to experience a birth to the new. But when you make up in your spirit to move forward in spite of your condition, pastors, in spite of the circumstances at your church, you might as well go for broke, sink or swim, come hell or high water. You need to tell your church that I'm going to the other side, and you need to ask them, is it in you? It's time out for just sitting on the dock of the bay, just watching the tides roll away. Do you have what it takes to make the breakthrough? The kind of faith you have will determine that. All the trouble you've been experiencing, he's been preparing you. He's preparing you right now for your breakout season. All the haters you've encountered, they were assigned to you. They had your name. God said, go get them, because I'm going to use you to develop my child. God has plans for you, not to harm you, but to prosper you. God has plans for you, not to take you down, but to take you higher. But can you handle it? Can you take it? Life has pressed against you, so you would fully develop. Can you see clearly now? The rain is gone. Tell your neighbor, it's breakout time. Because of my troubles, I have courage. Because of my sickness, I have a high threshold for pain. Because of my hardships, I'm willing to fight to the end. What the devil meant for evil, God turned around and meant it for good. As I close this sermon, I come to tell you tonight that you win from within. Can I tell a story? There was a story about two dogs, a big German shepherd and a little pit bull. The German shepherd was the bully of the neighborhood. All he did was go up and down the street, whooping up on the other dogs. And one Sunday morning, he got up early, and he said, I'm going to go down to the little pit bull's house. You see, he knew that he had whooped up on him in the past. He remembered that he left him beaten, battered and bruised. So he went down the street and he jumped the fence. And the little pit bull, he limped down off the porch. And the German shepherd said, hey dog, I come to mark my territory. The little pit bull, he only had one paw. His other legs, they were beaten, battered, and bruised. But he limped down out in the yard. And he said to the German shepherd, look here, dog, you've been coming around here messing up my house. My wife won't talk to you. My children acting crazy. I can't pay my bills. And I got confusion in my house. That's why I'm on the porch. And if you mess with me one more time, I'm gonna get you. She took his right paw to a line in the sand and said, if you cross that line, I'm gonna get you. The German shepherd, he thought about the past.
shaking. He went to shaking, rolling all over the ground. But what he didn't know, that something on the inside was happening to the little pit bull. And the more he shook, the tighter his grip got. What you saying, preacher? When life goes all it can at you, and when you don't know what else to do, get God's word and hold on